What's up, everybody? This is the Live and Leveled Gamers podcast back with another episode, 43 and counting. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, not again. Anyway, I'm messing with y'all. How y'all feeling, guys? So this is the Live and Level Gamers podcast with the regular crew. The only one missing tonight is Jedi Knight, and that's because he's across seas and his hours don't reflect ours, so he will not be able to make it tonight. But let's get to introducing all those who will be talking tonight, starting with my partner who I've been knowing for the last 15, 16 years. Go ahead, K-Bomb.
Yo, what's up, y'all? K-Bomb 20, ready to get it cracking.
All right. To my, I guess that's to his left would be who? Who's that? Sean, man. Come on, man.
Said, hold on, I'm next to you, man. I'm next to you. On my screen, I'm just saying.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, man.
What's going on? It's John Shaw, man.
Man, you made me feel like I was saying the wrong direction.
I'm looking, I'm like, hold on. On my screen.
Yeah, okay. And last but not least, one of our new voices. Go ahead and introduce yourself, bro.
What's going on? This D2K Prime, ready to get on live and cracking.
All right, so we here, talk about the latest news, man. We've been doing Sundays, so we're gonna be jumping between Sundays and Thursdays, depending on how our schedule flow. And that's why Jedi Knight won't be able to make it because we won't be able to do it Sunday, and that's when he's available. So after Easter weekend, we should be back to Sunday's schedule, so you'll be able to hear his voice then. But a lot of stuff been going on this week, man. A lot of stuff happening. A lot of stuff to talk about, dialogue about, and give our opinions on. But before we get into all of that, what you've been gaming on is what we always start with. So let me ask my boy, D2K, what you been gaming on, man?
Nothing.
What?
I've been too busy to be gaming as of late.
I got you. So you ain't been on nothing, huh? Now, you was on nothing last week, the last podcast too, right?
Yeah.
Man, what's going on in your world, man? Nah, I'm just messing with you, man. But you have been posting some good articles, so you've been on that. So
Yeah.
Well, since you ain't been gaming on anything, go ahead. Was you saying anything?
No.
Oh, okay. Let's move over to K-Bomb 20. What you been gaming on, man?
Yo, I know, as y'all know from the last podcast, I'm still on that division. Still trying to get my rank up to max rank. Working at about 25 right now. I slowed down a little bit because I have some partners that want to play the Dark Zone, so I've been doing that. I've been enjoying that game so far. It's legit. The graphics are great. The gameplay is good. I'm really feeling that. Hope it can keep me going for years to come. Well, not years to come, I guess months to come, depending on how they do the DLC. So I've been doing Division. I've also been playing a little Madden still. I haven't got a chance to get back in my my NBA 2K, but pretty much just going back and forth between Madden and the Division.
Okay. Man, when you gonna let Madden go, man? Come on now. It's time to let Madden go, K-Bomb.
Man, I did, man. I skipped the couple years, man.
Look at you. It's easy to get you, dude. I'm messing with you, man. Play Madden if you want to play Madden.
Playing Madden right now while you talking.
See, that's messed up. You seen my friend request. I'm shocked you ain't sent me one since I picked up this suckage PlayStation 4.
I accepted it, man.
The sorry monstrosity that Sony feel like they gotta make a PlayStation 4.5 because this garbage I got under my I'm just playing with you, man. I like my PlayStation 4. But you see my friend request, right?
Yeah, I accepted it.
I'm only at 15 on the division, so you might not want to hang with this lacquer over here. You ain't even tried to invite me in none of your games, man, to help me get some some level ups.
No
Anyway,
noobs, no noobs, no noobs, sir.
let's jump over here to John Shaw. What you been gaming on, man?
Man, I've been on the division a little bit. Then I got Pokken tournament, but I didn't make it past the tutorial before I fell asleep. That's not the game's fault. I just was, I work all the time, so sometimes it just be like that.
I'm glad you clarified that because people will get in their feelings with you saying that I fell asleep on like it was garbage or something.
Well, just saying that's the thing though. If I don't like it, that don't mean you gotta like it. I mean, me liking or not liking something shouldn't dictate what you feel about the game. You know what I'm saying?
That ain't how it works in YouTube, man. Y'all gotta like the same stuff now. Come on now. You know how the rules go.
Sure. So,
Rule number one, you gotta like what I like or I unsubscribe to you and I block you and I cut you. You know how I go, man. Come on.
Yeah. So I'm just waiting for like the 20, I think it's the 29th or whatever. That's when Microsoft starts putting the games for Windows 10 out or whatever.
Okay.
Cause I'm trying to I told you I got this new computer. I still ain't bought no new games for it yet. So, but my money been tight though, so I'm trying to get all these free games. So I'm supposed to Killer Instinct's supposed to be free, and something else is supposed to be free.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get on that. Then I'm probably gonna buy that Quantum Break on PC.
Man, stop trying to act like you be broke, man. You know you be working about 5 jobs, man. Come on.
I'm broke.
This dude definition of broke mean I only have 3,000-4,000 in the bank saved, man. That's bad.
I don't ever have that at any point in given time. If I had that at any given time, I wouldn't even be saying nothing right now.
The definition of broke is, man, I can't go buy that car I want right now. Man, come on. They ain't broke, man. It just ain't where you want to be. Come on, John.
Man, I'm broke.
All right, let me get on.
Bills is paid. That's all that matters. So, but I'm broke.
As y'all can tell, I'm a little tired and delusional. That's why I'm talking like this. But what I've been gaming on is Division, man. And I'm gonna have to say, it's been a great game, a great experience. I got a posse of cats I've been playing through with. One of my boys, King Cooper, and if they listening, Can't Touch This is another dude that I met, and another guy by the name of Jay. Man, we've been playing together pretty consistently for the last week and a half, 2 weeks since I had it, and I've been really having a good time with it. I'm thinking Ubisoft hit a jackpot with this one, man. I think they this is one of the first games I can say Ubisoft actually gave you a lot of content. It's real polished, not too many glitches. I mean, it has bugs here and there, but for the most part, it's real smooth experience, and I'm enjoying it. You know?
I'm gonna send out a public announcement. I have it on both the PS4 and Xbox One.
Oh,
so
sure.
When y'all bums decide to actually want to play with me, you know what I'm saying?
Like I said, man, K-Bum acting like he too good to play with people.
Hey, whoa, hold up. For what?
Man, too good. I'm in the dark zone, man. You can't go in the dark zone yet. Oh, man, come on, man.
When can you go to the dark zone?
You can go to dark zone anytime. It just
they
got different bands between. You can't go to dark zone with somebody that's too high because they're gonna put you in a different level. That's
the thing about it.
Okay, because I'm like a level 4 or 5 on both of them.
Dude, the level thing, like, dude, you ain't gonna win if you were level 15 and the stage is level 20. You ain't gonna beat it unless you got somebody in there with a crew of people that's either like 20 and 18. You might be able to beat it, but if you were 15 or 10, fooling around with some 20s and some 18s, you pretty much gonna be dead.
Unless you got some skills like K-Bomb, I still win that.
Whatever, man. You was killing. Hold up, John. All right, I'll put you on the hot seat, K-Bomb. You was killing 20 ranked at level 10.
Nah, man, I know level 10. Okay. I ain't that crazy.
They ain't nothing but bullet sponge. They just absorbing your bullets. They like what's his name on X-Men? The one that can absorb and shoot what you shoot at them back.
Bishop.
Yeah, Bishop. A lot of these dudes like Bishop, man. They just soaking up your energy, man.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about just like a couple, like 3 levels down, like a 17 and a 20 mission.
Okay.
I can still do that. I ain't talking about no 10. That's foolish.
Yeah, I slowed down because I wanted to play with some people. I didn't want to play too much and get bored, and then I want to, then start playing with people, and then.
Right.
So I
That's
just,
enough time.
I mean, it's like I said, man. I've been enjoying it. I can hold my own. Right now, I'm at level 14. I said 15, but actually at level 14, and I can go fight. I can go into a 16, 17 level stage and hold my own in it and actually beat it. So
That's legit.
I ain't, but you know, my boys be like, level head down, level head down. I was getting shot so much with them. Level head down again. I'm like, man, y'all some dirty dudes, man. But anyway, I've been enjoying it though. So since that's out the way, let's jump into these topics, man. So the big thing that has happened this week is cars dealing with Nintendo. Nintendo's been the hot topic for the last year almost with this NX and everything going on. So let me jump over here to D2K first. First of all, let's overlook the NX controller part right now and go into that. But there was also a rumor that came out that Nintendo was stopping production on the Wii U. And you wrote a real good article on it on fulleffectgaming.com. Shameless plug, but go check it out. And D2K wrote an article talking about basically how we both actually wrote articles on this, but Joe, I love how you articulated yours, where you was talking about how it's basically time to get real, that Nintendo need to go ahead and shut it down with the Wii U. So what do you think the rumor, because Nintendo came out and refuted the rumor, but even in the refute, I think it's true. So give me your thoughts on that, man.
Well, they basically said that the Wii U isn't going anywhere anytime soon.
Right.
That if you really listen to what they were saying, that's the gist of what they were saying. They're not saying that the Wii U is going to stop production tomorrow,
Right.
but they didn't say that it wouldn't wrap up production this year. And it doesn't make any sense for them to continue producing Wii U's when it's not selling as well as it should. It's getting outsold by the Vita, and you're going to have to be manufacturing NX consoles later on this year. And we've already heard partners that are manufacturing pieces of hardware that are supposedly part of the NX already counting NX sales towards their financial projections into the
Wow.
fiscal year. So, I mean, at this point, I mean, I don't see how anybody can be still holding on to the Wii U. It's dead, it's gone, it's done, bury it, consecrate it, move on.
I agree, man. Like I said, I enjoyed your article on it. And it was well thought out. What was the title of your article?
From
Again,
when the bell tolls.
explain it. Explain your title.
Well, I was thinking about the Undertaker when I said that. And I thought about putting his music on the site for the article, but I said no, I don't want to get in trouble from WWE. They ninja like just like Nintendo is, but
Mhm.
um, I mean, it's just I mean, I felt like we need to give the Wii U an eulogy because it wasn't. I mean, for what it was okay. It was all right system, and when you come out and you basically tell people to accept the fact that Nintendo has moved on and we need to do also, they kind of look at you cross-eyed. They want to attack you because they think that you're saying that the Wii U was a horrible system and it had horrible games, and that's not true.
Right.
I mean, look at the Dreamcast. The Dreamcast was an epic failure, but the Dreamcast has some of the most memorable games that I can remember in the past 20 years. I mean,
Right.
they got so many good titles in the Dreamcast, I can't even think about it. The GameCube had a lot of great titles, but that system also failed. So just because a console does not meet its mark, and Nintendo's already admitted this themselves that they did not achieve what they wanted with the Wii U, and that goes without saying, that doesn't mean that you don't have good titles. The Wii U has had some very good titles, but it's not enough. It's time for them to move on, and they have moved on.
So while I'm still talking with you, man, let me just say the title of my article was "Did Nintendo phone it in with the Wii U?" And I was using that terminology. John Shaw was like, "Well, what you mean phone it in?" Well, did they pretty much kind of quit on it and put it in that a category as it didn't matter, and even though it was there, they really wasn't focused on it like they should have been. And let me ask you a question: do you feel like Nintendo phoned it in with the Wii U?
That's precisely what they did.
Okay.
I will go a step further, and I said this in my article, is that the Wii U kind of felt like a placeholder.
Okay.
It didn't really seem like Nintendo was really engaged or interested in making this a system that was going to compete or a system that's going to be wildly successful. It just seems like they put the system out there because they had to put something out there.
Okay.
And you look at some of the games for the Wii U, even though they had some good games, you look at, for instance, Mario 3D World. It's a nice game, but it just doesn't have the same ambition as Super Mario Galaxy.
Right.
You
Okay.
look at Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Beautiful game, beautiful graphics, outstanding soundtrack, but it just didn't feel the same way that Donkey Kong Country Returns did. It just, even with Smash Bros. And Mario Kart, even those games are very good games, but they just don't seem like they have the same punch as other games that preceded them. And it just seems like Nintendo just did not have that interest in the Wii U, and it's very possible, I believe this, that NX is something that they've been thinking about and conceiving even back into the development time of the Wii U.
Okay.
But the infrastructure was not in place for them to do what they want to do with the NX and what they're able to do now. That's what I think happened.
Okay. Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. I hate when people think that when you say what we just said about the Nintendo and about the Wii U, that some kind of way you had a problem with the system itself. I love the Wii U. I'll be the first to tell you. One of my favorite systems. I just felt like what you just said, Nintendo really didn't have any intentions. And in my article out there, you kind of saw the writing from the gate that Nintendo really wasn't as interested in making this system as successful as it could have been, and you could tell it by the marketing. You could tell by the procrastination in making sure that people understood this is not an addition to the Wii. This is actually something new. They never really tried to make sure all these things that was coming at them that was causing the system to stumble out the gate, they didn't really do anything to absolve it. So looking back on it, I had to concede to the fact that maybe, like you said, they never really had any intentions on the system being as successful as we thought they did, when we purchased the system. But let me throw this at John Shaw, then K-Bomb 20. John, what you think about this, man? Give me your thoughts.
I don't know. I just think people they get mad for no reason. I don't know. They take stuff too seriously. But at the same time, it's like when you say you stop in production, that just means you're not making any more. Doesn't mean there's nothing out there. Doesn't mean you're gonna go to the store and you're not gonna find nothing. It means they're not making no more because there's no point in making any more because they're moving on to and saving resources for new things.
Right. So explain to me why would Nintendo come and I guess it's self-explanatory, but just for conversation piece, why you think Nintendo refuted?
Well, technically they didn't refute it. Like you were saying, they just kind of beat around the bush saying, "Oh, was still gonna be there," and it is because just because they stopped production doesn't mean you don't have a warehouse full of systems.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
No, the word is in Japan is they kind of different retailers are having a hard time getting restock, for the Wii U. So I think that was an issue too. People was curious. Was with them still wanting more Wii U, supposedly. I don't know how true this is, but it was suggested that a few retailers over in Japan need more stock of Wii U's, and Nintendo was having a hard time restocking them with Wii U. So,
we'll come to send the shipment back to from America.
Go ahead.
Because it's not like they're going anywhere.
Yeah, they act like they don't want it here, so.
True. Go ahead. I ain't mean it, bro. I just throw that out there.
That's also it's like just because they say they stop production don't mean it's just, and it don't mean the system was bad. I have it, you have it. I think I think everybody here, or everybody except Kelly. Oh my bad. Yeah, my bad. Came on, huh? And I never even used that ever before. I don't know why they had this pop up.
Well, all right. Are you done, John? Or you still got more you want to say on that?
No, it's just, I don't know. Yeah, that's it. I guess it's they stopped making it. So what?
All right, K-Von, what's give me your thoughts? Can you give me that PlayStation, perspective thought on this?
Well, PlayStation thought. I don't know.
I'm just messing, man.
Me personally, I've always had a
scoot up to your mic.
My fault. I said me personally, I've always had an issue with the actual Wii U because I didn't know what they were trying to accomplish with it because it wasn't really high end, but it wasn't really innovative as I thought the Wii was. So I didn't know really. They were kind of trying to play with the big boys, but they weren't bringing all the chips to the table to play with the big boys, especially when it comes to graphics. And so it kind of put themselves. And I know I heard quotes beforehand about them talking about making this a system for the hardcore audience.
Yeah.
And if I don't consider myself hardcore, but I definitely would lend myself towards that way. I maybe more of the the bro crowd, but I didn't see the system as being for hardcore gamers. And I looked at it because it was something new for Nintendo, and I wanted to get into Nintendo if they can offer something good. I never saw anything that really made me want to jump on ship. But with them making a decision to cut production, I think it's the best decision they can make. The fact that, like we've already said before, that they're going to start needing resources to print out their NX. And they need to put everything they can into the system because, like we said beforehand, they can't have two systems fail back to back. That's not good for business, especially when you're not a company that has other income. You're pretty much a video game company.
Right.
So if you're failing at video games, there's a problem. And so if them shutting down production, I don't see it as a bad thing, but like we've been saying, the writers have been on the wall since they showed that Wii N64 version of the shooting game. What was that game called? I'm sorry, it's slipping my mind right now. With the Fox and Star Fox.
Star Fox. Oh, you talking about E3?
Yeah. When they showed that Wii version of the Wii U Star Fox, it was kind of built up there that this is what you're going to get. And when they kept delaying Zelda, which was supposed to come out for the Wii U, and kept pushing that back, it's pretty much on the wall. But they're saving this stuff for the next console, and their best games are going to come out for that. And so I'm not surprised by it. I think this should be something you should welcome. Actually, if you're a Nintendo fan, that means they're putting all their hopes and their resources in building a better system, which is hopefully the NX, which hopefully comes out late this year or maybe early next year.
Okay. To stay on this topic for a little bit longer, we're gonna move on. But you can also see that, and I hate to say this, but because I really did have high hopes with the Wii U. I'm not gonna. That's real heart right there. I really, when I saw the Wii U, I saw the screen in the Wii U. I saw the potential of the console and the technology and the architecture. Maybe not as powerful as it should have been, or we would hope for. Even, and I think every Nintendo fan needs to be honest with that. We wanted more power, but you can kind of give a pass on the power if they would have took advantage of the controller. But with the games, like D2K was saying, and I said this in my article, in my post, and he said the exact same thing in his, you could kind of see where Nintendo heart wasn't in the Wii U, in the games. Like, if you go back with the GameCube, go back to the N64, both of those systems, especially the GameCube, was considered a failure. The N64 was the beginning of Nintendo going through, a state where they wasn't as popular as they usually are or usually were. Both those systems had some stellar titles, classic, instant classics. And I wrote this in my article that I honestly, outside of Splatoon, and then of course the Mario Karts and I would say Mario Kart 8 is a classic. I would say Smash Bros. For the Wii U is a classic. But
Mario Maker
is a classic. I don't know about Xenoblade. I can't speak on Xenoblade. I haven't played it, but that's too niche. Pikmin at the same time is too niche to say it's a classic. But outside of those games, so that's what? Okay, Mario Maker, classic. Splatoon, classic. Then Mario Kart 8 and what's that? Smash Bros. Always classic outside of the Wii version. They always been pretty. Everyone has been a good entry.
Can you really say they're classic though? I mean,
that's what I was saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm not for sure. And in the post, I put that in there. I didn't even put Smash or Mario Kart as classics for the N64 or GameCube. There's so many other titles that were instant classics that I ain't even had to mention Mario Kart or Smash Bros.
Because like Mario Kart and Smash Bros. Well, more so Mario Kart is getting into like the Madden territory, where you're just getting upgrades every year. It's not like you're getting something completely revolutionary that you didn't have in the previous installment. Especially with Smash, because how many people still feed off of Smash Bros. Melee?
Right.
I mean, they forget about Brawl, they forget about Smash 4, and they still keep going back to Melee as the pinnacle in Smash Bros. People will play that in tournaments over Brawl and Smash 4. So,
I would agree with that. From a person that's not really a big fan of Nintendo, to me that was the best Smash, and that's where I would say I had my most fun with a Nintendo console was playing Smash, that version of Smash.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So I was like, where is the classics for this system in a 4-year span? I couldn't say 3D World was a classic. I couldn't say Tropical Freeze was a classic. Good games, but they weren't classics. They ain't. I wouldn't say you missed something if you missed them. I mean, but they was great games. I enjoyed them, but they ain't going down in no history books as an N64 Mario or Ocarina of Time or a Twilight Princess or even a Wind Waker. So it's like even in the games, Nintendo didn't give us much. They gave us a lot of 3DS upgraded games on the Wii U. And the games that probably like Captain Toad probably would have been more successful as a 3DS game. But you know what I'm saying? And then some games that should have came to the Wii U went to the 3DS. So there's a bit of this console and what Nintendo done with the Wii U has just been a scratch your head journey. And it's like I love the system, and I keep trying to say this. I love the system. I just didn't love what Nintendo done with it, and so I don't blame the system. I blame Nintendo.
A lot of ample purposes.
So if it was just a horrible system and Nintendo just didn't think it through, that's one thing. I think the system is great. I just think Nintendo didn't do nothing with a great system. But let's move on, man. Let's go to this next topic, sticking with Nintendo. So the leaked controller for the NX supposedly leaked. And we thought we was going to be talking about a real controller, but D2K messed that all up because he ran across an article that proved that the controller was fake. So D2K, go ahead and so I think everybody, and it's a shame for all you guys that jumped the gun. Man, YouTube. All the crying I saw on YouTube, It's just, go ahead though. These emotional cats, man. These some emotional dudes. But go ahead, D2K. Tell us about the article you linked us in, and break it down to what's going on here because you kind of wrote about this as well.
I'll try to be contrite and not pile on to the people who just bought this hook, line, and sinker. But it was reported on Nintendo Insider a few hours ago that two gentlemen who were responsible for this came clean and said that pictures that were shown were from what is basically a hoax. Um, and actually, if you go to a Nintendo Insider and click on the article, they actually show I don't know if it's a video or if it's just a screenshot of them actually modeling the controller in 3ds Max. Now, I've been saying before this all happened on several different YouTubers boards, people talking about the controller saying, "Well, I think it's pretty authentic. Well, it's got a core come out of it. It's a high-res image. It might be real." I kept telling people that, look, it could be real, but it also can be false. And I explained precisely how you could do that. If you have any measure of 3D modeling ability and you have a program like 3ds Max or Maya and you have a 3D printer, which 3D printers they're kind of expensive, but you can find a decent one for like 300-400 bucks nowadays. You can make any mock-up of any controller that you want. And I decided to go ahead and show step by step how I could model an NX controller based off of the actual patent that they showed. And you actually look at these leaked photos, they're missing something from the patent, which were the actual hand grips. In each
Right.
one of the pictures of the patent, we see hand grips, but this particular these photos didn't have them. So that should have been a red flag right there. Um, in one of the pictures from last week, they showed a picture of looked like some footage of some game playing, but it actually was footage from an Unreal Engine 4 tech demo, and there was a picture that they showed side by side. You can see it was the same image. And then if you look even closer, in the upper right hand corner of the image in the dark area, this is proof that they were trolling you. You can see a picture of ET's face. I mean, people didn't. I mean, it's clear as day. It's right there. But people's like, no, it's a real controller. It's the real thing. And then they start going off on tangents of how it's going to be horrible or going to damage control or how it's going to be great. And not just using their heads. Then these images come out this week and people say, oh, that's got to be proof. And then someone uploaded a video of someone actually showing Zelda U playing on the controller. And the way that they did it, it was only about maybe 4, maybe 5 seconds of footage. But the footage is actually from I think it was December 2014 VGAs or VGX when they showed Zelda U.
Mm.
It's the same footage as that. And uh, what they showed though looked kind of intuitive and looked kind of cool. Like, well, if the HUD actually looks like that on the controller, if Nintendo actually chooses to go this direction, I might be willing to listen to what they have to say. But, it was all proven to be false. And, I showed how you can make the controller. I even showed how you can put the image of or video on the actual controller. And then this story came out a couple of hours after I posted it. So, what I said in the blog is that, look, just learn how to trust your gut. Use your head. Ask questions. Don't accept what people say at face value. This happens every single generation. Remember the last generation when we first saw pictures of the Wii U gamepad and it looked like a classic controller from the Wii with a screen on it. And obviously the Wii U gamepad looks nothing like that. So, let's just keep the speculation to a minimum and wait for Nintendo to show us what they actually have. But I will say that Nintendo does need to get the let out because this index speculation is starting to spiral out of control. is getting to the point where if you let it get to build up too high, regardless of what you show us, may not live up to expectations, and that would be unfortunate.
Oh, okay. So let these other guys jump in. K-Bomb, Mr. Clicky Click with the controller. Uh, what's your thoughts on that, man? Since, like, okay, let's do this. Since we do know it's fake now, based on an article that just came out a few hours ago, let's pretend we didn't see that article and deal with it as if we thought it was real. What was your take on the controller? Had it been real?
I'll be honest with you. I haven't seen the fake the fake mock-up of the controller, so I can't really even speak to that. So,
Man, where in the heck you been? There ain't no way.
not looking at NX rumors. That's where I've been.
Man, I mean that thing was everywhere, dude. I mean, I don't care where you went to look at any game of news. That's what was leading.
Not on my Twitter feed.
Yeah, you need to get cast over the side of the boat, man. Something wrong here.
I need some Nintendo people on my Twitter feed. Then I need to go ahead and subscribe to some people.
I think I'm slacking because I'm on your feed. I guess I ain't posting enough. But
I guess
anyway.
not.
So you haven't seen it. So I'm gonna have to send you here. I'm gonna send you some pictures here in a second. I'm gonna throw this over to Shaw, and I'm gonna send you a picture here and let you look at it.
All right, go ahead.
Come back to you. Go ahead, Shaw.
Well, when I first saw it, I was like everybody else. I was like, yeah, this some bull crap. You know what I'm saying? I right off the bat, I was like, yeah, this is bull crap. Nintendo done did it again. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, they went off the deep end again. But then after I had to sit back and think about it, I was like, I might be jumping to conclusions. I talked to you. I watched a couple videos and stuff like that. It's just like I thought I had to look at the possibilities of what it could be, and what and different things and stuff, and say, you know what, this ain't the first time that they didn't. I looked at a controller that Nintendo made and looked like, what the hell is this? And so I had to sit back and think about it and stuff like that. But also now you're talking about this fake. See, I should have thought about that, but I just didn't think about it like that. I just didn't think about nobody would take a 3D printer and do all that damn time to try to make something fake like that. I think so. That stuff for the 3D printer. 3D printer might not be expensive, but the stuff that you put in that 3D printer is expensive.
Right.
So I was just thinking, like, man, so for somebody to do that, they either had a lot of money, or they just like, I don't know. It's just, and that's I clap my hands because that's a good fake. That's a real good fake. And so I think they out of the history of fake images and all that. I think they beat Photoshop because that first image, I was like, I call BS on the first image. You know what I'm saying? That was like everything about that image just looked wrong. But
you talking about the white one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know. Everything about that just looked wrong. The image just looked all messed up and stuff. And now that next one that came out, I was like, it was kind of hard to deny that one. I was like, okay, I see the thing plugged in and everything. I was like, hold on, 3 dimensions. I was like, hold on, it's like there's glare, fingerprints on it. Dust. You know what I'm saying? I was like, look legit to me. But seeing that. But I kind of like, and until he said something, I had forgot all about that technology, about the 3D printing and stuff, and how you basically with a 3D printer you can make anything.
Yeah. And
I had just totally didn't even cross in my mind nothing. I forgot all about that technology and how it was readily available to everybody. I just forgot all about that. And so now this is the day and age we in. So now we really gotta just wait till the actual company say something now, because now anybody can just make anything. And I feel like now that this has happened, we're gonna see a whole lot more of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So my initial take when I first saw it, I'm not gonna front. I was really nervous for for Nintendo, man. I was like, oh man, not again. I was like, man, no Nintendo. So I was with everybody, but I wasn't go. I was like, well. So I sat on it because Shaw sent it to me. Shaw was like, have you seen this new leak? I was like, no, send it to me. So he sent me the link. I went and looked at it. And I was like, where's this Hey Arnold controller gonna do? You know what I'm saying? It looked like Hey Arnold's head. You know, I was like, what we gonna do? So I sat on it, and I just got to thinking. And I was thinking and thinking and thinking, and it leads into another question. But my initial take was horrid, disgust. Then it transitioned to maybe this might work. And I don't know if that was the Nintendo, but you gotta wait. I'm saving why when we get to the other portion of this question, this topic. But my initial take of it was like Shaw's, and I'm pretty sure many others. And now that I sent it to UK, but I'm pretty sure you like, no, this is not gonna work. So initially it was like, no, Nintendo, you can't be serious. But then I have a different take, which. I'm gonna let K-Bum jump back in, then we'll jump onto this next part, and then we'll transition back to what D2K said is all fake, and now we know that it's fake. But I want to ask a question because I think it lines itself perfectly with this topic. But go ahead, K-Bum. Now that you see the picture, what you think?
Well, I had actually seen this picture before.
I knew you had seen it.
Yeah, I've seen this picture before. Actually, I mean, I wasn't too thrown off when I saw it. I guess, I'm like, I would think, Nintendo look like they'll do something like that. So I wasn't really too thrown off, when I saw the picture. I did try to kind of think, I guess I didn't really know what it was. I didn't know it was for the NX, but I did see this picture before. But, I mean, I wasn't really too thrown off. I tend to have a wait and see approach when it comes to Nintendo, that my first initial feeling of it may not be what it truly is. And once you see it in actually action, because I know I saw the still picture, it may be totally different. I know I felt that way when I first saw the Wii U and I actually got a chance to play with the controller, the actual gamepad, and I was like, you know what, this ain't bad. This ain't bad. And actually, and I know I told Level about it when I did it, that when I played with it, it wasn't bad. So I kind of the same pros with this, that, I don't know, it may be good, depending on how they implement it. So that was my feelings towards it.
Okay, cool. So let's go into this question, then we're gonna get off on Nintendo. We've been on Nintendo long enough. But so, like I said, my initial take was disgust. I was like, no. Then I sat back and I got to let my thoughts travel, right? And I started getting creative with the possibilities of this controller. And as I let my thoughts travel, and I was like, well, what would Nintendo? Because we know Nintendo. Nintendo always has some clever way of introducing you to something that you didn't think you wanted, that you end up liking. The Wii remote and nunchuck. Well, I mean, everybody cried about the nunchuck, and John Shaw did it so well in his video. Everybody cried about the Wii remote, thinking that was it, but then they showed you the nunchuck, and then it was like, oh, okay, I get it. You know what I'm saying? So the question is, do gamers lack creativity when we look at this stuff? Like, and I say this because the PlayStation was stuck with the DualShock 2 and the excuse that it's just a perfect controller, which in my opinion is not. It's an okay controller. But that was the excuse to stick with it. But is it because we're not creative enough and unwilling to change? So we stick with the same thing over and over again? Because to me, I started seeing all type of possibilities with this controller once I got over my initial shock of it. I started seeing what you can do. I was like, man, look. I was talking to John this morning. I was like, man, look how smooth the size is, man, and look at them little. look, and John can attest to this. I like, look how smooth the size is, John. I said, man, it's kind of the size of the front of a controller. And I was like, look at them little. I said, nipples. I said, look at them little nipples. I said, now.
Whoa, where are you going with this?
Just listen to me, man. It's gonna stay in the same mode. But I called them nipples because they didn't look like analog sticks. They look like nipples. So I was like, this can fit down into this controller, and it has actual analog sticks that fit over those nubs or whatever they are. I call them nipples, but those nubs on there, and I found the video, and I was gonna make a video. I just had to go out of town. I didn't know I was going out of town with my wife. It's a video where you can take the iPhone or an Android, and I sent it to John. I was like, I got one of these, and he was like, man, this is possible. You take they got a controller that you can put the iPhone or Galaxy right in the center of it,
Yeah.
and it wraps around the iPhone, and it turns into a controller. And my idea was with this thing, and it's like, now that we know it's fake, it's still to me creative. Nintendo could have, if this was true, they could have knocked out 3 birds with 1 stone. This could have been, when it came home, it docked to a controller, and it connected to the NX console. When you was on the road, it could have been a system that you can play your your iPhone or phone mobile games on. So you don't really need a traditional buttons to play mobile games. And then if you wanted that 3DS or Game Boy Advance type of experience, they got another shell that you can use for it. So I was like, wow, if this was real, this could change the game if Nintendo thinking like I'm thinking. But my question is, do gamers lack creativity today? And I would throw this back at D2K since he hadn't talked in a while. Do you think gamers lack creativity?
I don't think gamers lack creativity. I think that game designers and game publishers and game or video game console distributors lack creativity in certain
Okay.
areas. I think that gamers have plenty of creativity, but a lot of our requests start falling on deaf ears. I mean, especially when it deals with Nintendo. There's a lot of things we say that they should do, but they don't. And it seems like Nintendo, they try to reinvent the wheel too much. They take things that are fine and they eliminate them and they replace it with something else that no one asked for, and they call that creativity. I
Okay.
personally, I personally call that unabashed arrogance and stupid. Um, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I mean, that's one of the reasons why you have so many gamers that are comfortable with the PlayStation 4 or the DualShock controller, because they haven't eliminated anything that made the controller comfortable and successful. They just keep adding things to it. Same thing with the Xbox controller. They just keep adding things to it. They didn't delete anything that you liked about it. They kept all the stuff that you liked and they added new stuff. And that's something that if Nintendo can learn how to do that, they would be fine. So I think that as far as us as gamers, we are very creative, but the
Okay.
people who are responsible for making the stuff, no, not so much.
Okay. Well, I mean, I was going off of the response of the initial shock of the NX controller. If it was real, like, why wasn't our imagination sparked to think of the possibilities, and we just automatically went to no?
Well, it's just like I think what John was saying is that sometimes when Nintendo releases, when they make up their mind to do something like this, they're usually so far out in left field that it's hard for us to grasp what they're doing
Okay.
until we actually see it. I mean, when we first saw the Wii remote, I'm like, okay, how am I gonna play a video game with a remote control? It didn't make any
Right.
sense to me. Then, like with the N64 controller, I'm like, why does it have 3 hand grips? That's weird. I don't. I mean, or even the GameCube controller. I mean, the layout of the buttons, like, okay, I have a button on top and 2 buttons on the sides, but in a controller in a C stick in the middle, huh? But
Right.
when we actually get our hands on those things, and it's like, oh, okay, and then we saw the nunchuck for the Wii U or the Wii controller, and we saw that first sizzle reel at E3 2006. People are like, I see what that is for. And one thing I want to add is that just because these pictures were fake doesn't mean Nintendo still won't do this.
Okay. Okay. All
Because
right.
it is part of their patents.
True. True. I'm with you. I'm with you all the way. So let me let Shaw jump on this, then we go to K-Bum, then we move on to the PlayStation 4.5. Go ahead, Shaw.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we as gamers we lost our imagination.
Maybe
Like,
that's what I should have used. Not creativity, but imagination. That's a better way to phrase it. You right on the money. Go ahead.
I just think we lost our imagination. I think, and also because what does it say about the last 3 PlayStation consoles? Basically, controller been the same, and then basically Sony's been leading the last 2 or 3 generations. And so I mean, it's and then Xbox they changed the controller, but it's the actual core concept of the controller hasn't changed that much.
Right.
So then you get the two dominating console companies, and their controllers has been same for the last couple generations. It's just we become
Custom.
accustomed to the default controller, and so because like I remember back in the kid, that was one of the little cool things about getting the new Nintendo system when I was a kid. It's like I was ready to see what the new controller was gonna be like. Is that because at that point in time, that was the only thing that was gonna be different. Because the box was just a box. And like you just set the thing up on your TV thing, and then you didn't pay no more attention to it.
Okay.
Because it's for me. I just threw it up in there and thing. I didn't really like what the box looked like. Didn't matter to me because it was like you just threw it up there. You weren't touching it no more, other than to put the game in, and that was it. And so when my new thing was like, okay, we got the NES controller. That was a little square thing, and that was cool because that was a difference from the Atari because Atari had the little joystick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so they had that. So then we went to Super Nintendo. Like, okay, hold on. They added some extra buttons on. They had 2 extra buttons on here. Then they had the triggers. And I'm like, oh, okay. What we gonna do with this? You know what I'm saying? So that was cool. Then you went from that to the N64, and it was like, oh, what the hell is going on? Seriously.
Yeah, I remember when I first saw it, and they had this hole in the bottom of it, and I was like, man, what they doing? This spaceship. This look like the Enterprise without the deck. I didn't know what was going on with
Look like I got a Klingon gun or something. Like I was like, what is going on? And so then the GameCube controller. I was like, okay, this is cool. I like this, but why is the other nub different? You know what I'm saying? Why is that? I was like, it's just weird. And then when I was looking at the buttons, I'm like, hold on, what's the button? I don't get the button. Then after this while, you just got used to it. It was just something new. And so then when you seen the Wii, I was like, okay, what's going on? Okay, maybe I get it. Okay, I want to try that. You know what I'm saying? It was just, I think we just lost that imagination because we become stagnant with another controller, with another default way of playing games. And I just think that maybe we as gamers, we lost our imagination because maybe we grew up, or maybe we just came accustomed to what's already out there and what works.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I mean, I think we stopped wanting to learn and stopped wanting to Cause that's how if you think about touchscreen gaming on phones, like at first nobody wanted to do that. Everybody was upset about it. I don't want to play no touchscreen. How are you supposed to play it like that? And then after a while, they started making these games, these shooters, and all these other complex games, and you start seeing how it works, and it would work.
Right. You're right. So imagination is what is the proper. That fits better than creativity. So with that saying, let me throw back to D2K because I think I might have worded that wrong. Do you think we lost our imagination, D2K?
Yeah, I agree with what John was saying. I think that we do lack a lot of imagination. A lot of it's more of a societal thing than a gamer thing, I think.
Okay, so we pretty much just followed the pack and.
Yeah, I mean, once something works, we pretty much stick with that, and we don't want to rock the boat.
Okay.
We don't want to think if we don't have to. It makes your head
Right. All right, K-Bum, jump on in here, man. Give me your thoughts on this, man. Gamers lacking imagination in today's. I think we got one more topic with Nintendo, and we're gonna move on.
I think we have. I think we have lost our imagination on what we perceive, and the thing is, a lot of stuff has become so twitchy, and it becomes muscle memory. I was just talking to a buddy today about, muscle memory. once you play a game that's really hard and you have to, kind of click the button even before you think about clicking the button, that once you change that formula for some people, it's hard for them to vibe with you, to get with you, because they're so used to certain things being a certain way. But I mean, but to be honest, if we want to be completely truthful about joysticks, joysticks really completely haven't really changed. To be 100% honest, except for what Wii U did. When you look at mock-ups of the Super Nintendo joystick, everything pretty much after that, other than the N64, has been just a variation of that. Of the 4 buttons on the side, and then the little trigger buttons up top. The Xbox had their version of it. PlayStation has their version of it. And when the Nintendo brought back the Pro controller for the Wii, outside of Nintendo, everything has been a variation of that controller. And even then, I don't think I would consider us has really losing our, I guess, imagination when it came to games. We do. I guess the imagination comes more with the actual what the game can do than the medium that we use to play the game. Because mouse and keyboards from the PC has been practically the same for 20 years. You have a little here and there when you have those pro mouse controllers, when you have all the extra buttons. But we've been doing what, AWSD up and down since I've been playing Doom. So I say yes, but I don't think it's on the same level of what we're referring to. But I will say yes, but not completely to I guess the topic.
Okay. Anybody else want to chime in on that, or we want to move on and to some? Got one more topic with this, and then we're gonna move on, man.
Oh, the Nintendo, dang!
Yeah, we almost done with Nintendo, man. But Nintendo been the top here lately, so might as well get it out. So this is a question that I'm gonna throw at. I'm gonna start with you since you just got done talking K-Bun. Then we go back through the Shaw, then to D2K. Is Nintendo out of step with millennials, gamers? Just give your opinion on that. Do you think Nintendo is doing enough to win the millennial gamer?
You seriously asking me that question? I mean, I don't even.
I'm serious. Like, yeah, I want to know because I think. Let me set it up.
Set it up so I can knock it down. Come on.
I believe that the NX success is hinging on Nintendo appealing to millennial gamers. They got to get millennials. If they don't get the millennial gamer, which that age is between, you're looking at the 18 between my son's age to about 21, 22, the millennial gamers, Nintendo needs to get them that age bracket. And if they don't get that age bracket with the NX, it's gonna be another failure. So, like, with your opinion, are they doing enough to get the millennial, or are they just out of step? I know you already know what you're gonna do. Go ahead.
What shooter is on the Wii U system? A popular shooter. That's a question for anybody.
What's the question?
What popular shooter is on the Wii U system?
Splatoon.
Black Ops 2.
Splatoon. That's it. That's all I gotta say. If that's your most popular shooter on your system, then no, you're not gonna reach millennials with that. Yeah, you're gonna turn some heads with Splatoon, which it actually done. It's done. It's turned some heads, and people are like, wow, this is actually a pretty good game. But we're talking about reaching this generation, and this generation. I mean, what game sells 20 million? I mean, Call of Duty is selling it. Shooters are selling it. Grand Theft Auto is doing this, and none of these games are on the Wii U. I don't. And another thing I want to say, the main type of game on the Wii U is what?
Platformers.
Platformers. How many platformers sell in the millions on the other two systems. It could be because of quality, or it could because millenniums aren't really that big of a fans of platforms. And I think it's a little bit from column A, because the platformers that you're going to get on the Wii system are going to be majority of the time superior than the platforms you're going to get on the other systems. But I also believe it's because of the platformers are the millenniums aren't playing the platforms as much. When you think of a platformer for one of the big systems, it's more of an action adventure game. I'll say on the lines of
what's the one that's coming out for PlayStation?
The one you've been playing.
Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and Clank. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I really don't even. To me, that's a shooter. That's not a platformer.
But that's the modern platform.
Yeah, that's the modern platform.
Yeah.
I would call it the same thing with Infamous, Second Son. That's a new age platformer. It's an action game, but that is a platformer for
yeah.
I would say
I
action.
don't know. I can't reach that far with it.
But that's what I would consider for them. I think to me it's still more than I would consider Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, well, there's platform elements in Infamous, but Ratchet and Clank actually, to me, watching the game and looking at what you're doing in the game has more of a platform element than I would say Infamous is more like sandboxy to me than platforming, but it has some jumping in it, and but I see where you're going with it, but I don't think it's more platform than Ratchet and Clank though. But go ahead, D2K.
I mean, I think that the reason why they don't sell on the other consoles because they're not there is because Sony and Microsoft understand their audience, and they understand that their install base are not interested in playing platformers to the same level that Nintendo, you know, hardcore Nintendo gamers, they expect those platformers. They expect Mario. They expect, uh, Donkey Kong and stuff like that. But when you have a PlayStation or an Xbox console, you're expecting different things. I mean, if you have an Xbox console, you're expecting it to be shooter heavy. If you got a PlayStation, you're expecting it to be action adventure heavy. Um, and when you look at platformers in general, they have changed over the years. They have not. They're not the same um, formula as they were in the past. But I don't think Nintendo has done enough to change with the times with their platforms. Now, I will say this. I will throw this out there: is that Shigeru Miyamoto said last year. I'm not sure it was last year, year before. He said that the next Mario game that they work on is going to be something that breaks from tradition and is going to be on their next console. And I don't know what that means. I don't know what they're going to do, but I do think that Nintendo needs to start looking in different directions in terms of platform games and have a little bit more contemporary themes in their platformers.
Right. Yeah, because they got it. And Shaw, come on in here, Shaw. But because they got to get to me, if you're not getting the millennial, you got to get the generation of that time, man. Yeah, we game, we all game, but we all 30 and plus. It's not unique that we game because we were some of the original gamers. So it's like with hip hop. As we grow, hip hop gets older. You know what I'm saying? So as we grow, gaming is going to grow with us because we were some of them first groups to game. So we had never stopped being gamers for the most. That's what I'm saying. We had never stopped being gamers. But I don't think they need to cater. Well, they will get us. They're going to get us because we're gamers. But I think they need to win over the young generation, that 13 to 21, 22-year-old bracket. They got to win that mind share to be successful. And only time Nintendo proved you can be successful outside of this, but I don't think the Blue Ocean strategy is going to work. I think that was a one-time happening. I don't think that's going to happen again. So unless they come out with something that's so innovative that it just is like that. But John Shaw, what you think, man? Or do they need to get the millennials, man? Or
I think what Nintendo needs to do is they just need to change their formula. Like, they have to branch out in each genre. They can't have one game in each genre. One or two games in each genre. That's like, it just doesn't work. Then in each one of those genres, it can't be Mario or a Mario character or a character that they've already done before, just another variation of it in a different genre. You know what I'm saying? So, like how he was saying, how many shooters you got? Okay, that's all they got is Splatoon. And then what? Nothing. You know what I'm saying? What? How many? What's the action adventure games? They got Zelda and what else? And then maybe some of those JRPGs. And then what's that? Nothing. Sports games. So they got Mario Tennis, Mario Soccer, Mario, and then what they got? Nothing. You're not even with us older gamers, that gets tiring. That gets boring.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like you can't keep doing it. You have to bring more games to the table. And it's like. And if your third party's not going to help you, see, that's what the thing is. Everybody's relied on third party. Even with Sony and Microsoft right now, they're relying on third party because the third party's running their systems right now. Now, it's not the first party.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so they're relying on third party. So if third party's not going to help you, then that means you have to branch out and you're going to have to start making some new games and you're going to have to make them faster.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate. That's the unfortunate truth to it. And you're going to have to expand your genres. And just make more games. And that's how you're going to reach all gamers. But we, like us older gamers, we just buy it because we know we like Nintendo. And yes, we do enjoy those games and we want to support their system. And we do enjoy those games. And unfortunately, those games are the only games you're going to get on this system. And that's why we buy that.
right.
But even me as a Wii U, I just feel like I don't, like as me, as a gamer, I don't feel like I have enough games on that console to justify my purchase. Cause like I feel like in 5 years I've only enjoyed like four or five games on that system.
In 4 years, it ain't gonna make it. It ain't quite 4 years yet.
And it's my thing. It's like, and then like what's the last game that came out?
Xenoblade? No. Pokken Tournament.
Pokken Tournament. Okay, before that.
Twilight Princess HD.
Yeah, Twilight
A
Princess HD, a remake. Then before that, D2. Then it was what's that? JPR, the RPG, Xenoblade.
How many months apart is that?
Well, Xenoblade came out in November, I think. So from November to
November, December, January, February. You see, you got 4 months of just nothing. You know what I'm saying? You can't do it like that can't like for a console company you can't just have that emptiness like that. And
right.
unfortunately the formula to that is that's third party filled that formula in between those months. But third party decided to jump ship on Nintendo, and so that's why we left in this void. And then I think it just kind of exposed the thing with first party. Because if you truth be told, if third party abandoned shipped on the other two systems, we'll be looking at the same thing. It might be a little bit worse.
Yeah.
No, I ain't gonna say it might be. It will be a whole lot worse.
Right.
A whole lot worse.
Okay.
And, so that's why I just feel like I don't necessarily think they lost millennials. They just don't have the games for the millennials.
That's what I'm saying. I don't even think they ever had the millennials. That's what I'm saying. I think they need to get the millennials. But let me let D2K get on here and then we'll move on to this PlayStation 4.5.
Well, I'm not even sure if they were even interested in getting the millennials. Now, like we were talking about earlier, they seemed like they just really cared about their core fan base because they knew that they were going to buy the system, they're going to buy the games, they're going to buy the amiibos and all that type of stuff. So they're only going to focus on the super hardcore fanboy type person and make sure that they're taken care of and forget about everybody else because they know they're not going to get the third party support has been gone since 2013 and Nintendo's not thinking about filling the void, making their own versions of hitting all the different genres, just like John said. So they just said, we're just going to make sure that the people who are who think that if we come out with a turd on the stick, it's the greatest innovation in technology history. We're gonna make sure that those people are satisfied and move on. And that's pretty much what Nintendo has
That's
done.
man, that's bleak.
Because let's keep it real though. They have like, and this is not because I know people gonna get mad, whatever. But this is not. I'm not taking away from what Nintendo did. Nintendo is the only company right now that I feel like did it with just what they have. Because I think if Microsoft or Sony were in the same predicament, I don't think they would have survived.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And because their first party lineup on both systems is pretty scarce right now. You know, and we're still like on PlayStation, we're still waiting for stuff we had at launch. Xbox, we're still waiting on stuff that was supposed to be at launch.
Yeah, first party droughts on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One is if Nintendo's is horrible. I don't even know how you would grade.
Listen, the problem is not Nintendo's is horrible. The problem is Nintendo just doesn't have any of those in betweens.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So the droughts are horrible.
So the drought is with all three companies, really, in different ways.
Yeah, that's what I was. That's what I was looking.
And what Nintendo doesn't understand, I think they need, I don't know what they're saving it or something like that. They have the IPs to use. Like they can have that other shooter. Where's the Metroid? You know what I'm saying? Where's like they had that Kid Icarus game on the 3DS.
What should have been on the Wii U?
Yeah, that should have been on the Wii U because I'm sitting there trying to control it. That's hard. Trying to do with how they wanted you to play it.
And the other game that they made, that new other shooter that they put on there. It was what was that game? It bombed, but it was like Abraham Lincoln and all them. It was like some of the characters. And
I don't know what that is. I didn't see that.
It was on the 3DS. It was like a shooter.
Project Steam or something like that. Or
Steam, well,
Steam
still
something.
Project Steam. Well, I think that's I knew it was Project something. But that should have been, to me, that's another game that should have been on the Wii U instead of the 3DS. It made more sense to be on the Wii U. With a better graphical approach, and it would have been like a shooter for the Wii U, but it has shooter elements. I don't know how much of a shooter it is, but it definitely has shooter elements.
It was kind of like a hybrid. It was like a shooter /
JRPG,
something like that.
Yeah. So it was like you said, John, you right on the money. But go ahead. I don't want to say what you was going to say. So go ahead.
No, they have the capability to make, and they can make new characters. Like I think they try to play it safe and use rehash their old characters and stuff like that. Because it's not like they can't make good games.
Oh yeah.
It's like I think was it you or was it D2K last or was it Jedi Knight? Somebody said something about like Splatoon might have been another Mario game.
Yeah, that was me and D2K.
Yeah. And
they talked about using the Mario characters as the Mario universe as the characters in Splatoon.
You know what I'm saying? It seems like if you come up with things like that, how they say, no, let's not do it, let's make new characters. And you see how that was successful, and they just have to keep doing that. Make new characters. That's what we want to see. We want to see new characters. We're tired of seeing the same old people.
Let me say this. It was Codename Steam. Thanks, Nia. Nia just sent me a comment, and it's called Codename Steam. Okay. It was a shooter / RTS similar to XCOM.
Okay.
So there you go. That should have been on the Wii U though, in my opinion.
Yeah, they should expand that. They got some action. They can make some different action adventure games with different characters other than Zelda. They can actually make some sports games and not have it be Mario sports. You know what I'm saying?
Nintendo has a lot of IPs that they're just sitting on that they can make, like Kung Fu. Like that, I always bring this up, but Kung Fu is a character they can bring back and give a game to.
That's if they really were smart, they would look at the NES and say, you know what, let's bring back all these games and bring them back, bring out all these franchises, all these IPs that we had back then. Let's bring them back. Bring back Kung Fu. Go to Square and say, let's make a new Rad Racer.
Right.
Go to, let's make a new Mike Tyson's Punch Out. He needs the money. So why not? He's popular now. He just did the Yip Man 3 movie. Capitalize on stuff like that. You have to think fourth dimensionally. if I can use a Doc Brown reference.
I see you.
So yeah, that's just my they and then they can do that, and I feel like that's what they need to do with the NX, and also they need to say, hey, to the third party developers, like, hey, what is it that you need, and what is it that you need to succeed on our system, and they need to open that, extend that olive branch. You know what I'm saying? Because like, unfortunately, that's what Sony had to do with the PS3. Because at first they couldn't develop for it, and the games was looking crap, and then they was getting, you know what I'm saying, they was getting people was talking shit on them, and it's like, and so Sony had to say, you know, hold on, we gotta go help these guys. You know what I'm saying? We gotta show them how to develop on our system so they can make
Right.
the games, so we can make it, so we can make this money. And Nintendo's gonna have to do that.
And that's kind of like what Sony did with the PS4 as well. When they were, I think Mark Cerny, when he was designing the PS4, he went to the third parties and said, look, what do you need? What do you
Right.
want? And
Right.
they said, we need a console architecture that's easier to develop for and a lot less expensive. So Sony said, well, we're going to do x86. And then Microsoft said, well, I guess we got to do it too. You know?
So let's to stand with, since we done already transitioned in the conversation to Sony. I don't know if this has been proven false or true. It seems like it's.
Yeah.
To me, I don't think it's. I find it hard to believe, but at the same time, I wouldn't put it past Sony because they love building powerful stuff and can't sell it. You know what I'm saying? That's one of their MOs: build stuff that's too expensive to buy, or they can't sell it for cheap enough to buy it. But supposedly, Sony is about to release a PlayStation 4.5 that is capable of streaming 4K movies and possibly even playing 4K games. So, K-Bum, you know, what you think, man? You think this legit? You think this possible, or you think Sony is out their mind? You know, with what the success they having with the PlayStation 4. First of all, let me ask you in two phases. Do you think that this is smart? And then, like, do you think it's possible? So answer both those questions.
All right. I was reading an article of I believe Eurogamer presented this article, and they stated that they know, that yes, the PlayStation 4.5 is real. But with their article, they were asking why is Sony making it? I guess to try to summarize some of the questions that you were trying to refer to, I mean, is it smart? Is Sony out of their mind? I don't know what Sony's thinking about with this one. I'm trying to think. I know we had in generations past where one of the developer company, the console companies would produce different versions of their systems. But as far as the systems with, it was pretty much the same systems. We had smaller versions, more compact versions, bigger hard drive versions, but never versions that were I guess the inner workings were much better than the inner workings of the previous one. I guess let's give a summary about what they're talking about. They haven't really gone out in full details on what they mean. But so the speculation has been that they're going to make a PlayStation 4K. They're saying, so they one mind of thinking was make a PlayStation 4K, which produces 4K video, or is capable of playing to 4K TVs. So the video that comes out of it is 4K, which means the games that are made what could be made in 4K. So that also presents, well, what happens with the people who play in the regular PlayStation, as their games will not be able to produce in 4K. So do you have a different PlayStation 4 version of the same game that's for this PlayStation 4K, and then this version is for the regular PlayStation? I don't know. That's the speculation that's going around. They're also going around with, okay, maybe it's not the 4K PlayStation, maybe it's a 4.5, and you still and they were talking about more of the inner workings, the GPU being better, the architecture being better in this version of PlayStation, which in turn is going to produce better graphics. Which means, do you still get a divide in with that this version of the game is going to be produced for the PlayStation 4.5, which takes advantage of the better graphics, but what does that do with the people with the old PlayStation? Are we now going to see frame rates that's not going to keep up because you're coding the game for a different GPU. Is the game not going to run as smooth if we're trying to play it on our older generation PlayStation? So I don't know. I don't know what this is going to do to the community. What it's going to do really to the PlayStation brand when these companies say, "Hey, we have more power, so let's make games with that power." What does that actually do to the people who went out and bought your system day one? Are you just saying, "Hey guys, you need to upgrade your system"? Because this isn't the PC. That's why we went towards console gaming, because we didn't want to have to upgrade every 2-3 years like you have to do with a PC in order to play the best graphics. Or it's going to be like the PC where they give you options to turn things on and off. I don't know. The speculations are going everywhere, but my personal thoughts with it is I, I'm not a big fan of it. I know they talked about some of this. It's because of VR that they're wanting to produce a more powerful system for VR. Um, but we don't even know if VR is going to be here in 2 years. Sony has
Actually,
a say what?
actually, they already said that. And I watched the article today. And the only reason I'm interrupting because in the video today, where they was talking about the technology in the VR is the technology is here. It's just developers and everyone hasn't mastered the technology. So it's going to be a while before we're able to affordably experience VR. Like the Oculus is, most folks ain't gonna be able to afford the Oculus, and that's the one who's really doing VR right. Whereas Morpheus is the poor man's version,
Right. Yeah, I agree
of
to that.
VR. And then you got a system, and this goes to another question. But let's stay here first. Let's stay in what we were talking about. Then I go to the VR part. But go ahead, finish what you're saying.
Yeah, what I was saying about the VR is the thing is Sony has a really, really, really bad track record when it comes to supporting external devices.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, probably the worst in all of the gaming history. I think it's probably more stuff that Dreamcast did with that little controller thing that Sony has done with the Move. So, I mean, I don't like the Move. It starts to alienate your population, and also when developer companies makes games, or do they make it towards the high end, or do they keep it on the low end? Then you're still not getting the more powerful graphics that you could get, or the more powerful GPU, or the more better, I guess, the better polygons you can put on the screen than you get when you have this PlayStation 4.5. What happens to that? So I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it. Maybe when we learn more, we can understand more, and they can fill in some of these blanks or some of these missing spots that we have about this PlayStation 4.5. But as it sits right now, I'm not a really big fan of this PlayStation 4.5. But I understand Sony's reasoning for it. But I just don't agree with them actually going through with it.
Right. John Shaw.
Let me get back to you. I got to deal with something real quick.
Okay. D2K.
I guess it really depends on a lot of things. There's a lot of variables, like he was saying, that are in this equation that you can't really project what's going to happen. Um, I would think that if they really want this to work, that the games that are being developed for the PlayStation 4 going forward would have to be scalable. I would think that they would be, if you're going to have a game that supports 4K resolution, then that would mean that at the very least, if you play it on a regular PlayStation 4, you're going to get a rock solid 1080p 60 frames per second. That's how I look at it. Now I don't know if they're going to do it that way, but I think that would be a smart way of doing it. So that way, people who don't want to upgrade don't feel like they're getting the shaft. They feel like, well, at least I
Right.
know for a fact I'm not going to get any dips in any frame rate. I'm going to get the highest resolution possible. It's going to be perfectly smooth because they it's almost like buying a larger pair of pants and you grow into them. You know, um, you also have to look at the mentality of your install base. Now, people who are Sony fans are used to buying consoles that are powerful, and they're used to going forward towards, or if there's something powerful out there, they're going to go get it. So I don't think that having a more powerful PlayStation 4 is going to alienate the 38 million people that bought PlayStation 4s. I think that they're going to buy those too because they want to support Sony, and the reason why they got the PlayStation 4 because it's the most powerful system, period, and it's got the best third-party support. And they're not going to be left in the dust with the regular PlayStation 4 if there's a more powerful PlayStation 4 out there. They're going to go out and get it. So I think it can be a gamble, but I think it's a safe gamble for Sony. But I'm gonna throw something out there, and some people might say, "Oh, you're reaching," but I'm just gonna be honest because timing is everything. Last year, I think it was around September, when the Wall Street Journal report came out about the Nintendo NX software development kits going out to select third-party developers. The the wording was that they were going to be using quote unquote industry leading chips for the NX, and that the software demo or the software that came with this SDK was so powerful and was crunching so many polygons that
Yeah,
it could not run
on the other two systems.
on the other two
You
systems.
go where I was gonna go. You right where I was about to go. Go ahead.
It cannot run on the other two systems at 1080p 60 frames per second, and it would have to be on a high power PC in order to run properly. Not too long after that is when we first heard Sony mention that they were looking to make a more powerful PlayStation 4.
Right.
Now, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but Sony knows what Nintendo is doing. Nintendo knows what Sony is doing. Microsoft knows what they're both doing. They both know what Microsoft is doing. They have moles. They have rats. They have snitches. They all know what each other is doing. So they know they saw something or heard something about the NX, and they said, we cannot just stand pat with what we have. We have to come out with something to bridge the gap from the PlayStation 4 to the PlayStation 5. I think that has a lot to do with the initial sentiment of it. That added to the fact that they may have overestimated the power of the PlayStation 4 as is and realized that it's not going to be good enough for VR, so they're going to have to make a more powerful console anyway. So I think it was the only move that Sony really could make, if you ask me.
Okay. Before I comment on, because you hit right, but I'm gonna let Shaw jump in here, then I get my 2 cents on it.
What we talking about again? I left.
What's your thoughts on the PlayStation 4.5? Is this a smart move by Sony? And what was the second part? Is it necessary? I had to. What's your thoughts on the PlayStation 4.5 rumors and all this?
Like tripping. This is my thing about just Sony in general. They come out, have support stuff, and then be trying to jump to the next thing. It's like, stop. You ain't I'm still waiting on your launch games. I'm still waiting on games I saw at 2 E3s ago. And now you about to jump to a whole now I'm gonna have to buy on a whole new system. I was like, this is just like, come on, stop with this crap. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what we year 2 or 3? Was this year 3 for the PlayStation 4?
Yeah.
It's 2 years, 4 months.
Yeah, so I mean, and maybe if it come out at the end of 2017, maybe okay, or 2018, okay. But now, if it comes out this year or early next year, then no, it's too soon. Well, to me, it's too soon, and one, I'm not buying it because I mean that's just like, I don't know, they're tripping to me. I was like, if you do that, that's like, I mean, to me, that's a whole new system to me.
Yeah.
You know, so that's a whole new system to me. And so that makes it, you just said, you made my PS4 obsolete. And so basically all the games and so what I had was, I still haven't been blown away by nothing yet on PS4. There's no game that I can say, oh yeah, that was my PS4 generation. You can go back to your PS3 and say, yeah, that was my game for PS3. Or you can go back to your PS1, yeah, I remember those days on the PS2 or the PS1. You know You know what I'm saying? There's no breakout game for the PS4 yet that says, yeah, that's my PS4 experience. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like they're doing it too soon. Like now, first you want us to buy VR for $400. You know what I'm saying? And then now you're saying you want us to buy a whole nother system too?
And a camera.
And it's like, come on, like, what do you like? I think they testing how much they can get away with. And unfortunately, us gamers and consumers, some of us are stupid enough to fall for it. Because I just feel like that's you just testing the waters and saying, oh, we can do it because we know they're gonna buy it. You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody's jumping on VR now, but you know what I'm saying? But I thought y'all didn't want nothing on y'all head. You know what I'm saying? But now everybody it's the greatest thing ever. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, and they willing to spend $400 on it. And that's what I was flabbergasted. I'm thinking like $400. Like, yeah, that's a whole. I don't even think I spent that much on my damn PlayStation 4.
No.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, and so I just don't get that now. So what for? So I 4K. How many 4K movies is out there?
Not much, bro.
You know, it's like what are y'all doing? Like, what's the point? Other than to push that VR crap. But
Can I jump in here?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know why anybody gets shocked when Sony does this, because Sony does it all the time.
Hold on. I got one to say. Why don't you just make the PS5? Just say fuck the PS4 then. Just say fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Just make the PS5. I mean, if you're gonna do that, just make the PS5 and call it a day. Just end the cycle. You know what I'm saying? Now we would not. I don't know. Just end it.
Let me say this.
Making too much money off the PS4. They ain't gonna end it.
Right. It's like this, but Sony does this all the time, man. It has never failed. If Microsoft says something that or is rumored that something, especially if it's true, Sony comes out with something similar and try to cut into it before whoever has it comes out with it. Morpheus and was HoloLens. All of a sudden, not Morpheus, but Oculus and HoloLens. You heard about Oculus, you heard about HoloLens, and out of nowhere, Morpheus shows up. You didn't hear. Sony wasn't. You didn't hear Sony talking about no Morpheus. You didn't hear Sony talking about no VR, nothing.
Even before that, was that the Luma Room thing that they showed?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. Microsoft.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then you look at the Kinect. Now I'm not gonna say Sony didn't have a camera, but it wasn't focused like the Kinect was focused. And all of a sudden, when Kinect blew up, when the PlayStation 4 came out, what they got? A camera that could do all the Kinect stuff with the Wii or the Wii U, the gamepad. All of a sudden, now the Vita is big. All we could do. Then it was with the Wii, with the motion controller. All of a sudden, now we got the Move, and Sony just reacts, and it's like they so scared something going to catch on, and they not going to be a part of it that they gotta. So what I see happening is what D2K said. First of all, I think this is a knee-jerk reaction to the rumor mill and the hype swirling around this whatever this NX system is. And ever since that initial announcement that whatever this system could do wasn't capable of being done on the Microsoft or Xbox One or PlayStation 4, that's all of a sudden now it's PlayStation 4.5. And I'm right with D2K. To me, it's all smoke and mirrors to keep anybody potentially thinking about, hey, what's this new system? Hey, we got something coming. Don't forget, hey, man, we got this. But they said everything, and this was smart about Sony. And I got to commend them. They say what the itching ear wants to hear. That's a Bible term, but they give the itching ears what they want to hear. You like 4K? Oh, we gonna give you 4K. You want this? We gonna give you this. Sony says what the gamer wants to hear. It's like a pimp talking in the ear of their chicks. They say, "Girl, we gonna make this money. We gonna get out here and make this." Sony knows how to do that, and it works. And I think it's all smoke and mirrors. It might be true. Sony might make it true, but it's only right now. It's just talking. But it might be made true. But it's more to offset NX than anything, in my opinion.
You give me $100 attachment, then I'll say okay, I'll forgive you. But you talking about a whole nother system, man? Sony, I'm done with you.
So that's what I was saying. They were coming out with some type of, like, some of the well, I shouldn't say some of the rumors, but some of the patents we saw for NX with the supplementary computing device.
Yeah.
Used to upgrade the power of the system. If they had something like that for the PlayStation 4, you could buy an attachment to increase the power of the system. Okay, I can see that because people don't have to go out and buy a whole brand new console.
Right.
But we'll see what happens. Maybe they will do something like that. Maybe that's what the PlayStation 4.5 is. Maybe it's something you slap on the back of it, and it just increases the power. Maybe it's something like akin to like the 32X back in the day with Sega Genesis.
What in the world?
Remember the Genie? So that's my take, man. I believe Sony also never at offsetting any potential success, any potential piece of anything like any other company's idea that might blow up. Sony is quick to eat into that before it comes out. I
don't want to place all the blame on Sony because some of the blame is on us too. Because I think I'm not gonna say us, but us, the new generation of gamers, they're not content with anything anymore.
No, they're not.
It's like as soon as the new system comes out, like 2 days later, they're like, oh well, what's the PlayStation 5 gonna have, and and they already talking about that. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like 2 days after the PS4 launch, you can look on all the news sites. They were talking about what's the PS5 going to have until what's the future. It's like they already looked at the future already before we even got into this generation. And yeah. I think that's a problem with gamers, and I think we need to nip that in the bud real quick because next thing you know, we're gonna have console cycles like cell phones, or we're gonna be buying a new console every year.
Yeah, I can't afford that. That's
when
I gracefully bow out. I'm hitting stage left. Exiting.
And that's a dangerous pool that we can't jump in. And I think we as gamers, we're a part of that fault. And it's not all Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo. We're part of that fault because we just got to have everything. It's like we're not content with what we have. Like I think you were saying, K-Bomb, last week with how you used to play, like how you saying you weren't content with Call of Duty anymore, and because how the previous Call of Duty you would sit there and play that forever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think like we back in the day we were content with what we had. We played games. We played till the wheels fall off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think we do that now. And I don't say us, but gamers period.
If you they'd cut it off before you even. Shoot, they'll move on before you move on. The developers or the servers are cut off, and this is dropped, and we ain't supporting that. So, it's almost you conditioned not to stick with it, But I'm right there with you. Now, we ain't content. We like you said, you use a term. We crackheads when it comes to games. We crack addicts.
The game flies on my rehab right now.
But let me say this, man, because we've been going at about an hour and 40 now. We had 2 topics. I'm gonna give y'all the choice of which one we could go to. We can either continue to talk about the VR with Sony, or we can go to this Microsoft cross-play, cross multiplayer. They looking to merge the multiplayers where Sony can play Microsoft and PC can play. Everybody playing each other across systems. So,
what was the VR topic?
The VR topic was can the home console really run VR?
All right, now let's do the other topic.
Okay, so Phil Spencer and Microsoft is interested in actually making it where live players can play against PSN players, cross multiplayer. So like. let me throw this to D2K. Two-part question. First of all, what is the motive behind Microsoft's move in this, and how do you think it's something that can improve gamer relations as far as the all these console wars and all this stuff go? So let me get your thoughts on that.
I don't really know, because that whole thing just kind of it's foggy to me how it can even be possible to do that. Um, I don't know. I really don't know if Microsoft has any ulterior motives. Maybe it's um about survival. Maybe they feel like that this is a step to try to bridge the companies, and the companies have to learn to work together to be able to survive, because like we were just saying, that we are not satisfied with everything. We're always looking for the new thing, and that's costing these companies money when they have to constantly start over again, and come up with new things and new games and new concepts over and over again. All that stuff costs money, and Microsoft is. I don't think they've turned a profit in anything since they started in the gaming industry. Sony's lost a lot of money, but they've seemed to come back a little bit in the past year and a half. But maybe it's just something that behind the scenes are just saying like, look, I mean, why don't we just try to help each other out? I mean, if just let's just start with this little olive branch of allowing our gamers to be able to play against each other, something they've been wanting to do for a long time, and then go from there.
Okay. K-Bun,
All right. So what was the question again? I want to make sure I'm speaking to it.
like what do you think Microsoft's motive? Because this is Microsoft. Because right now the thing is, will Sony acquiesce? Will Sony agree to allowing their live subscribers to play? I mean, they PSN subscribers to play against live players, and opening up their servers and connecting these things to where all can, it's all one big community when you get online. You playing PC, you playing Sony, you playing
Yeah, yeah.
Xbox. So the first question is, what do you think Microsoft's motive is, and do you think it actually will work work? So
I think Microsoft's motive is they're preparing for their. I believe we said it a while ago. They're preparing to not just have their games for consoles, but to allow their games to be both PC and console as well, and bridge the gap so both of those people can play together, and maybe even move out of the so-called console gaming just entirely. Um, and I don't know if they were truly, if they are truly extending that olive branch out to Sony, or this is just something that they had to do to get this game to work. Because what really started all of this and all this conversation is a game, Rocket League, which first came, I guess, really blew up on the PlayStation where it was actually a free to play game, and from that it kind of blew up to what it is now. And when it debuted on the PlayStation, it debuted as an ability to play with both PC and PlayStation players on the same doing the same match. You can play with both, and it was kind of a seamless integration, and that kind of started this, I guess. And they went over to Xbox, the Rocket League people, and when they first debuted with Rocket League, it wasn't available to be played on cross-play with PC, and then from that, they kind of had this arrangement with Microsoft, and now we are where we are with Microsoft actually extending, I guess, the olive branch out to Sony and other companies. But the interesting thing is Sony, and you said it. Sony hasn't really said anything about this. I saw an article where Sony responded, but they never said the word Xbox in their response. They kind of talked around the topic. So I'm wondering, will Sony even really want to partake in this? Which I don't see why not, because I still see this as a win-win for the gamers. Because one of the big reasons I know, even for John, you have certain games like Division, where it would be cool if saying we can play with him on his Xbox One instead of him having to buy the game for both systems. It would be much better for consumers if we can just go ahead and play. He can keep his version. We can just still play over the network. I think this is something that they should make happen, especially with Xbox extending that olive branch to Sony. But I'm really not sure why Sony's playing it so close to the chest and not actually coming out and saying that this is also something that they will approve.
Okay. John?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Before I start, I just want to go say the what's the game called?
Rocket League.
Rocket League. They came out and said they figured it out and they got it working and they can get it working. And so now the ball's in Sony court to see if they all the legalities and all this stuff that they got to figure out. And so the ball's back in Sony's court now to see what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I saw that.
And so I'm a quote our loving buddy Michael Patcher.
You really going. I don't care for no mic, man. Care for no mic, man.
Our loving buddy Michael Patcher. He said that Microsoft is preparing for the future where consoles aren't important. And so, if you think about all the moves that Microsoft is making, I see that to be true. Because they're trying to secure their future so they're good either way. And I feel like this is another opportunity for them to where they're good either way because now they can make games. They can make games for let's say if the Xbox does fall off, right? Well, they can make games for PC, then go or for their Xbox Live service to go over to and be able to play with PlayStation users. I just think this is Xbox just trying to appeal to the gamers. They're still trying to turn around that negativity that they had from launch.
Yeah.
And they're trying to appeal to gamers. They're trying to listen to what gamers want and what gamers are thinking about, and they listen to some of the tweets and some of the input that they get, and some things that gamers wanted. And so I think they're trying to do their best to listen to gamers and try to give them what they want, while it's going to still benefit them.
Right.
I think all the consoles they've had PC to console play. This Xbox was just late to the game. It's supposed to happen with Killer Instinct, and it was supposed to happen. The first game was supposed to be that Fable, but Fable ended up going kaput. So. And so that was the first games that was supposed to be PC to Xbox. So all the games have been able to do PC to console. So this will be the actual first time console to console. The only thing that's stopping it is just servers.
Right. So
depending on because if you get a third-party game and they use their own servers, they can make it available to whoever. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, some games they have to. They either buy Microsoft servers or they buy Sony servers, depending on where the game's at and what's easier for them. And so if you use different servers, the next thing is just coming up with a program to make those two servers communicate.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's really the only. It's really no hurdle. Because I think the technology is there. I think, especially with cloud computing and all that stuff, the technology is there. It's just basically, do these two companies want to just let it happen?
Okay.
So what? I just thought of something, and correct me if I'm wrong, but back when the PlayStation 2 was still in its development stages, long before you even heard about an Xbox, Bill Gates was trying to get Windows implemented on to the PlayStation, and Sony said no, they didn't want to go that route, And that is what fueled the whole Xbox development. And he really wanted to go after Sony and say, we want to make sure that no matter what happens, our console is more powerful than theirs. And I'm wondering if things have just come full circle with Microsoft basically about to try to do what they intended to do in the first place.
That might be what happened. Cause I know they powered the Dreamcast.
Yeah, they did. Yep.
And so that's what drove their online and all the stuff on there. And I think I want to say the OS on there. I'm not totally sure, but I think that it was powered by Microsoft on there.
Okay. Yeah, it seems to me that Microsoft is slowly trying to gain back appeal in the public, gaming, industry, because they've been ever since that debacle back in 2000, I think 2013, or was it 12? No, 13. When they initially showed the Xbox One, they just been climbing out of a hole ever since. But I also see, this is my opinion, man. I think Microsoft is masking the white flag on the Xbox. They really waving the white flag, but they masking it. But they everything is pointing to them either reimagining the Xbox to PC, and they like D2K. I don't think all you guys said it. They trying to make sure that they're good when they make that move to where all their ducks is lined up to where they can make that transition to just being a PC company, maybe still using the Xbox brand, but it's not what we have come accustomed to when we talk about the Xbox. That's what I see, man, and trying to win back public favor that they have lost during the Xbox One, because they just really seem to be in a bad place with gamers. I don't know why, but I know why, but I'm shocked that this is still lingering on. But that's what I see. So I think they masking the white flag, man. I think the Xbox One is something they moving away from, like Nintendo and the Wii U. So that's what I see, man. I see them. Everything going to Windows. Everything's pointing to Windows. Everything is about Windows, and Xbox One is just
Look, but I think both Nintendo and Microsoft said it's a wrap. Sony got this one.
yeah.
Seriously, 38 million. This company sells like 250 to 300,000 PS4s a week. Just in last year, in November, December alone, it's sold 7.5 million PlayStation 4s. It's pointless to try to compete against that.
Right.
Wow.
So
Wow.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's my whole thing. That's what I'm saying. They masking the white flag. It's like Roadrunner in Coyote, Wile E. Coyote, when you finally you see the white flag come up, but it's like Microsoft just don't want to wave it. It just outright wave it, but they hinting at we waving the right flag, man. But we gonna mask it behind all this rhetoric. But the truth is, we waving the white flag. We know that we have lost this generation. We making some changes to our approach to it all, and when we come back, you gonna have a hard time beating us because we're gonna be on everything. That's what I see them doing.
Right. Okay.
So
Turning the Skynet.
yeah. But with that being said, I think we have exhausted all the topics for tonight. I'm gonna let these dudes do they sign out, and then we're gonna get out of here. So starting with my boy K-Bomb, go ahead and sign, let them know how you feel when we get out of here, man.
Yo, it's been a blast enjoying myself on this late Thursday night. Nothing I guess I'd rather be doing than chewing the fat with my boys, man. Have fun, man.
John Shout.
What's up? Good show, guys. Be sure to visit fulleffectgaming.com. Let us, talk to us in the comment section. Talk to us on Twitter. Let us know, what you guys want from us, and we'll try to deliver it. And peace out.
D2K.
As always, it's a pleasure to hang out and talk about gaming, and I look forward to the next time. See y'all later.
All right, and this is your boy Levelhead, man, with the Live and Level Gamers podcast. Share this with your friends. Also go over to fulleffectgaming.com and check out the articles and posts we have there. D2K, John Shaw, myself, and Jedi Knight, and soon to be K-Bum 20. We all posting over there, man. So we trying to really give y'all content and to get you through your day. So support us on what we're trying to do, and like and subscribe. And till next time, people, deuces.